Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael, and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Difficult Search in the AITA subreddit. The post is titled, "I broke up with my GF via Reddit. I created this Reddit account to address you. I will not reveal your name, but I know you often read posts like these since you used to bring them up and listen to podcasts featuring them. I am sure you will know it is about you when you read this. I, 29-year-old male, caught my girlfriend, 31-year-old female, cheating on me. This time, I have undeniable proof after she lied to my face about it. We had been friends for 5 years and started dating 3 years ago. I loved this woman with everything I had. I truly thought she felt the same way. A few months ago, we hit a rough patch and argued a lot. I really thought we were going to break up. I hit rock bottom and became severely depressed. One Saturday, we had plans to attend a wedding together. You live a fair distance away, and neither of us had a car, but we did not mind taking extra steps to make it work. That morning, I asked what time you would be coming over so we could get ready and leave. I even offered to pay for your ride. You said, okay. Hours passed. I did not hear from you and I began spiraling. I had a panic attack. I checked your location and it was not your house. It was some random parking lot. I messaged you. No reply. After a while, your location just turned off. I was worried sick. I kept calling. No answer for 6 hours. I was panicking. Then at 9:30 in the evening, note this time, you finally picked up. Your first words were, "Are you okay?" And I just broke down, crying, asking, "Are we okay?" You told me your phone died and that you were just out with friends from school, and I believed you. You had never lied to me before, or so I thought. The next day, I could not even get out of bed. Depression hit me like a ton of bricks. You came over to comfort me, but something felt off. I tried to shake it off, thinking maybe it was just in my head. That morning, I placed your watch on the charger. That is when I saw messages from you to your friend from school, the one you hung out with on the day of the wedding. One message said, "He was growling in my ear." Another said, "I had to cover up my hickeys like I was in school." These were sent around 9:30, the exact time I was crying to you on the phone. When you got out of the bathroom, I saw the marks on your neck. When I asked, you said they were from scratching. On our way to work, I brought up the messages. You said you were lying to your friend and made it all up. I did not believe you, but I swallowed it. I swept it under the rug. Today, I was at your house as your family had a birthday party for you. Your family was there, some of your friends, and our mutual friends too, including the one who celebrated you cheating and lying. The house was packed. I drank quite a bit because I knew I was not going to have the courage to do what I did. I went to your room to lie down, saying I did not feel well. After some time, I told you I was going home and ordered a ride. I am in the ride now, typing this up along with the tablet I gave you. While lying in your bed, I found it, and on it, I did not just find proof of you cheating, I found everything. The day you turned your location off, you were with the man you play games with. I am mad at myself for not noticing how often you played with him and how you laughed at his jokes. I saw the messages, how you two talked for months, planned a hotel meeting the day after he picked you up from work, how you kissed him in his car, how you told him we broke up, you sending a picture of the hickeys he gave you, and those messages sent at 9:45 in the evening, the same time I was breaking down on the phone, and you were telling me everything was okay. How inconsiderate could you possibly be hearing someone you claim to love cry on the phone while you are texting your school friend and him about your infidelity? Speaking of the school friend, I saw conversations celebrating your decision to cheat and laughing about how you got away with it, encouraging each other to lie to me. And there is more I found. I found flirty messages with multiple drivers. I found out the ring you said was from your late grandmother was actually from your former boyfriend. You wore it our entire relationship. I found messages to him as well, telling him you were single and that you would always love him. I saw more messages with your duo in games, with him saying very sexual things and you saying how nice that sounded. That was the same day I surprised you by coming over to your house for Thanksgiving. I found you sending sexy selfies to multiple men. Some of those pictures were taken during outings we attended together. All this, and yet you talked about marrying me. You are a terrible person. Normally, I am not a petty person, but I have reached my limit. By the time I post this, I will have already sent screenshots of everything to your friends, the ones who would be ashamed of you, to your family, the ones who would disown you, to your gaming friends who knew nothing about your double life, to my family, to our friend group, and to the dishonest school friend who knew everything, smiled in my face at the party, and still thinks everything is fine. Every person who ever believed in us will know the truth. I have never been more disappointed in anyone in my entire life. You made this bed, now lie in it. Update. Many people requested that I update them on this story. I am fairly new to Reddit, so I believe this is how you do it. Thank you all for the overwhelming support and kind messages after my last post. If anyone is wondering, yes, I am doing okay. Something just clicked while I was going through those messages. For the first time, I truly realized I am worthy of love, and that the first person who needs to give that love to me is me. Out of all of the options I had in that moment, the one I chose felt like the smartest. If I had confronted her in private, she could have manipulated the narrative or made me doubt what I saw. If I had gone downstairs and made a scene, I would have been surrounded by her family and friends, which would have turned into a screaming match where I was outnumbered. So I removed myself from the situation and let the truth unravel on its own. Just to clear a few things up, we both had our locations shared on our phones. I was not stalking her. The sexy photos were not nudes. And even so, I did not send those pictures out. Only the text conversations between her and the men she was messaging. Sending those to people is wrong on another level, and I would never stoop that low. After I left, I took a ride home, grabbed a few things, and went to stay at my friend's place for the night. I felt okay, but I thought that was just adrenaline and I might crash hard. I have already signed up for therapy, scheduled a test for sexually transmitted infections, and I am planning to take boxing and pottery classes just to keep myself active and focused. While I was staying over, one of her gaming friends messaged me. It turns out the man she slept with has a wife and child. I'm not sure how that situation is unfolding, but I hope his wife finds out. That friend also told me she has been removed from their gaming squad. Our mutual friend group has shown a lot of support. One of them even removed her as a bridesmaid from their upcoming wedding and blocked her entirely. I thought everything had finally calmed down until I came back home this morning. I had already blocked her on everything, so there was no way for her to reach me. Instead, she showed up. She drove her parents' car to my house and sat outside until she saw me. As I walked to my door, she came out crying hysterically, a messy mix of sadness and rage. I did not say a word, I just walked inside and closed the door while she yelled from the other side until she eventually left. Nothing was mentioned about the Reddit post, so I guess she did not see it. Later that day, her brother called me. He apologized on behalf of the family. He said everything seemed normal after I left until their mother checked her phone. She pulled my ex aside, trying to keep things quiet. But then her aunt, the one who talks a lot, shouted, "You're cheating on your boyfriend," in front of everyone. That blew the lid off. According to him, their family has a history of infidelity, and it caused serious pain in the past. So this incident not only reopened old wounds, but more cheating scandals within the family were exposed that same night. This party was supposed to be a reconciliation moment for relatives who had not seen each other in years. And the friend who celebrated the cheating with her, she got scolded so badly by the family that she left in tears. Her brother told me he does not blame me for anything. He even said I handled it better than most would have, and he is here if I need anything. Honestly, the only thing I feel bad about is unintentionally ripping apart a family that was trying to move forward. I had no idea all that was going on behind the scenes, and I do feel like a terrible person for being the grenade that set it all off. User Teruiel said, "I think the fallout behind the scenes with his ex's family and what that party was really meant to signify is perhaps the more interesting story at play here. We see the fallout in places like this far more frequently than we are privy to in the real world. It highlights just how destructive the choice to cheat really is. Always remember, it did not just happen. It is a series of choices that we make day in and day out about who we are, to ourselves and to each other, who we want to be." This next post was made in the same subreddit by a user named Remarkable Role. The post is titled, "I told my dad's wife I will never consider naming my child after recently deceased mother. I am currently 29 weeks pregnant with a girl. My husband and I have already chosen her name, as well as 2 backups in case it does not suit her. My dad's wife lost her mother a little less than a year ago. They were extremely close, and her passing was unexpected, so she is not coping well. My husband and I are trying to be as helpful and accommodating as possible, but we do not live in the same country as them anymore, so there is not much we can do. Back in February, my dad and his wife came to visit us for 10 days to celebrate our son's birthday. This was our first time seeing them after her mother's passing, and their first time seeing me pregnant. Early during the trip, we had dinner together. We all started talking about my pregnancy and the baby, and when my dad asked if we had any names in mind, his wife stopped us. She asked us if we could consider naming our daughter after her mother. She said she had been wanting to ask us this since she learned we were having a girl, and it would mean a lot to her if we could honor her mother like that. I do not think I need to justify why I would not do that, but in case I do, I never liked her mother or thought of either of them as family. Even if I did, my husband does not like the idea of using our children's names as tributes, so we would not name them after any of our deceased loved ones. My husband and I were taken aback. My dad looked a little awkward, so I think he was already expecting her to bring that up. I said I was sorry, but we had already chosen the name and were not interested in changing it. The mood died a bit, but we did manage to change the subject and enjoy the rest of the evening. My dad's wife was quieter than usual for the next few days, but she did not bring that up again until the final night of their trip. Everyone was at our place. She pulled me aside and once again expressed how perfect it would be for us to keep her mother's memory alive by naming a child after her. She started talking about how much she would have loved it and how a beautiful name such as hers should not go to waste. I interrupted her and said there was zero chance we would ever consider naming our child after her mother. I told her it would never be up for discussion, and for her own sake, she needed to accept that and stop bringing it up. I was admittedly harsher than I had intended, but I am not sure she would have gotten the message otherwise. She barely spoke to me and my husband until she and my dad flew home the next day. My dad and I have been talking about this. He agrees with our refusal, but thinks I should not have turned his wife down like that. He told me she is still dealing with her mother's passing and I should have been more sympathetic. He is insistent she would not mind our daughter's name if we at least told her we would consider honoring her mother. I do not think humoring her would have been the best call, but I am worried I was too harsh. 3 months later, OP provided us with an update. I came here for advice a few months ago. I gave birth to a healthy baby girl back in May. She is now a month old and thriving. We are all in love with her. My husband and I decided to go with our first choice for her name, and it suits her perfectly. My dad stopped bringing up the subject of how I had talked to his wife a few weeks after my first post. The last thing he said about it essentially boiled down to be nice to my wife, but for the love of God, do not name my granddaughter after my mother-in-law. He wanted to visit us this month to meet the baby, but I told him to wait a while longer. The house is a mess and we are still getting used to having 2 children. His wife has been very detached from anything that concerns my daughter. She spent the weeks leading up to my baby's birth completely silent. She usually lives on her phone and texts frequently, so I figured she was still upset. Both my family and my husband's family like our daughter's name. My dad in particular complimented it a lot. His wife did not react to it. My aunt visited them recently, and she later told me that while my dad would show her pictures and videos of my daughter, his wife avoided the topic entirely and was cold whenever someone tried to get her to engage. To be clear, none of that ever bothered me, but this behavior was very out of character for her. When I was pregnant with my son, she created a group chat with my whole paternal family to start a countdown for his birth. She was my only acquaintance who protested when I said I did not want pictures of my child posted online. About a week ago, my dad's wife called me. She reiterated that she felt I was not being very understanding of what she is going through, but apologized for how cold she has been lately. During the call, she explained that losing her mother had made her regret her decision not to have children. Her mother had always wanted to be a grandmother, and she wishes she could have given her the opportunity to experience that. She took her mother's passing very hard, and it made her reflect on various things she wishes she had done differently, but the news of my second pregnancy intensified that regret in particular. My dad's wife said that she will always wish I had named my daughter after her mother, but she still accepts the name I chose. She also told me she will start seeing a therapist soon. I was mostly quiet during the call because, frankly, I did not know how to react. Having since had time to think about what she said, I'm a little unsettled. It is still hard to explain how I feel, and this is not even close to my top concern right now, but I did not see this coming. I almost feel bad admitting this, but I am very glad we are in different hemispheres. I cannot imagine what she is going through, and I wish her nothing but the best, but I do not think being close to my family right now would be good for either of us. Thinking back to how I handled things when she first asked us to use her mother's name, I am pretty sure I made the right call. I sincerely wish I had been more polite, but humoring her would have probably led to a much bigger headache. I am not sure when we will see her again, but it will not be until next year. My dad will come visit us in October, but she will not come with him. When she does meet my daughter, I hope she is doing better. Right now, I will focus on my children. Postpartum is difficult, and my husband and I are still getting adjusted to being a family of 4, but we love both our children so much. I do not know how I got so lucky. I almost definitely will not post again. I am very tired and very busy, and I do not expect that to change anytime soon. Thank you. Edit. To those asking, I am unsettled because I was not expecting her reasoning to be that she regretted not giving her mother grandchildren, as I stated in this post. I sympathize with her grief, and I am glad she has decided to get help. Fascinating Fall said, it sounds like the stepmother was going through a serious mental crisis. I am with the OP, I am glad they live in different hemispheres, and I also believe that if she had not been as harsh at the outset, this would have spiraled into something much worse. Dad needs to take some responsibility here. He likely already knew she was going to push the issue, so why did he let it become a second attempt? Slythe Wolf said, I am really concerned about the person who thinks it is a problem that someone is not over the sudden, unexpected death of a parent in less than a year. This final post was made in the career advice subreddit by a user named Gay Giraffe Farts. The post is titled, Employee Quit, Claiming Better Work-Life Balance. I'm confused. One of my engineers quit and gave me their 2 weeks notice today, telling me the reason was seeking better work-life balance being promised at another company. This really surprised me. I asked him if there was anything specific I could do to improve this for him, like lessen his workload, but he did not really give me any feedback. I even suggested he take a few weeks off to think about it, but he said he had thought about it for long enough and was certain of his decision. He has been on my team for the past 2 years. We got along very well and he was well liked by the team. He did good work. I gave him a promotion 8 months ago. He always had a good attitude and he had minimal complaints that I would address immediately. My company is fully remote. We require a 3-hour overlap for people to be online for meetings, collaboration, code review, and so on. The weekly meeting burden is one 30-minute company-wide meeting and one 30-minute team meeting to sync up on work. Everything else is done asynchronously. There are no hard deadlines for tasks, except of course for recovery efforts in the event of an incident or outage. We have unlimited paid time off and require everyone to use a minimum of 4 weeks, with at least 1 week being consecutive. We shut down the week of Thanksgiving, 2 weeks for Christmas and New Year's, and every other Friday off during the summer. We do require engineers to be on call, but it is a 10-week rotation during business hours only. I personally feel like my company has one of the best work-life balance policies I have ever experienced. I am truly very confused. Is there something obvious here that I have missed or should be more proactive about to ensure people do not leave because of burnout? Is there something that would impact someone's work-life balance that they would not be comfortable talking to me about? Update. Thank you for everyone's comments on this. There were some great comments here that pointed out some things I would have never guessed from this situation. Human Resources told me they scheduled an exit interview next week. If there is anything noteworthy that they share with me, I will make a separate update post. Also, I apologize ahead of time for replying to people's comments asking if I am hiring to direct message me if you have experience in my team's specialization. I realized shortly after I would be publicly exposing myself and my company. Given my username, it would be a bad idea. Update 2. I have talked to him personally some more and received feedback from HR from their exit interview. His reasoning for work-life balance was true. He did not elaborate, but his home situation became complicated and he wants to take some time to focus on figuring that out. I told him I would be happy to give him some paid time off or an unpaid sabbatical. He thanked me, but did not want to put a time constraint on returning to work. The only critical but significant feedback he gave HR was about our health plan. Apparently, he has been having a lot of issues with the health insurance company. He was forced to pay out of pocket for some treatment because either they could not find in-network doctors or the insurance kept denying claims from his doctor, saying that the treatment was not necessary. He said he would love to come back and work here one day, but only if we change our health insurance provider. The good news is that HR has received this feedback from other people and is currently looking at other providers, so the responsibility is with them for this issue. Terpsichorean Wombat said, "Sometimes I daydream about passing constructive denial legislation that penalizes insurance companies for fraudulent denial if an ordinary consumer cannot navigate their bureaucratic hurdles in under 1 hour." According Ad said, "That health insurance issue is very real. I have a pretty good job, but the insurance is quite terrible." Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, Gamersupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.